What? Howdy, I'm John Amico. Over the years, I've made a living training thousands of retrievers. With my experience and knowledge from professional dogmen across the country, I've developed a curriculum of training techniques for duck hunters that'll produce a dog that'll pick them all up. This video is about puppy development, the very first step in molding a stylish, willing hunting companion. I'm going to show you step by step how I select and develop a pup into an animal that can be trained. A lot of how-to videos will show you their techniques with trained dogs. Here you're going to see puppies in age-appropriate situations actually learn this material. There's a lot of information here, so as you're working with your pup, don't hesitate to back up and take another look at it. But first things first, we got to find us a training prospect, so let's go look at a few. Come on, dog, let's go. The woods are full of puppies. What we're after is a training prospect, and that's the attitude you need to take before you even start looking. First, you have to look at pedigrees of puppies that were selectively bred for hunting. Professional retriever trainers are some of the best sources for this type of information. Their experience on training different bloodlines on a day-to-day basis gives them invaluable insight. Once you've selected some promising pedigrees, then make an appointment to go look at the pups. There are many puppy tests used these days to ascertain certain behavioral characteristics. The testing procedure I use exposes hunting instincts. If the dog fetches, you're out of excuses how to train it. If it doesn't, you can cry all day long about why you're not getting it done. Therefore, the most important skill you should look for in a retriever dog is prey drive, the instinct to catch and kill. Any hunting dog that doesn't want to capture and kill game is suspect from the beginning. You should be able to see this instinct by the time the pup is 7 weeks old. A day or two early or late can make a difference in your observation, so try to be there on that 49th day, when that pup's instinct and brain power are kicking in. Schedule your test for either early or late in the day and before the pups have eaten. If a litter owner won't let you do these tests, just pack it up and go on down the road. You might have to look at several litters of pups before you find one that passes all these tests. Even in the best bloodlines, there's individuals that excel. Don't cull the pile by putting parameters on sex and color before you've even started looking. You might overlook the best one. You also don't want to be misled by the idea that there's an advantage to so-called designer dogs. Nowadays, you see lots of sales pitches extolling the virtues of dogs from different countries, ones that point, or even worse, Labradoodles, which are nothing more than expensive mongrels. Remember to look for litters of puppies by pedigree and individuals by how they perform on our tests. The real deal is, will it hunt? Okay, this first test we're going to pull on these little puppies is to see how birdy it is or how much prey drive it's got. To do that, we got this little pen made up here. We need to have a place where the puppy can chase a live bird. We're using common barn pigeons here because, believe it or not, this is a game bird. And we want this, what we're looking for to see if this puppy will chase it or not. And so you got to kind of prepare this bird first, and how you do that is by picking the wing feathers, or the primary feathers, out of its wing. And so that's kind of how you do it. What this pigeon's going to do when we get it on the ground, we'll throw it in here and it's going to run away from the puppy. So that's why we're picking the primary feathers out of it so it can't fly off. So we'll start the test here. We'll go grab this little pup and see what happens. Even when you just like take a puppy and put it in a new place, sometimes it'll take them a second or two to get used to where they're at. So let that happen. And then take this pigeon, put it down here and show it to the puppy and watch what it does. See, that was just an instinctual thing with that pup. It just, the instant it saw that bird, it chased it and wanted to bite it. That's a hardwired instinct, and that's the reason that some retriever dogs are better than others. That's what you're breeding them for, that instinct to chase things down and want to kill them. This puppy got the #1 reaction. It chased the bird down, it showed no fear of it, and was wanting to bite it. That's prey drive. Look at it, it's still wanting more of it. Get it. All right, she's a good girl. That's good. What the? Yeah, I know you got it in your mouth. Here's another little pup to test, and so we'll go through the same procedure. Put the puppy down in the pen and let him get used to it for a second, and then we'll start teasing him with this bird. Okay, what I detected in that puppy, I hope we got to see that on camera, but it was a slight hesitation. It's kind of a little bit apprehensive about that bird, and then it finally hit it. So make note of that. You need to write all this down so that you don't get your puppies confused about what you saw, because this is relevant, and slight differences make a big difference. Okay, this next little test we're going to do is see if this puppy is fetchy, and we're going to use this little knotted up white sock because it's a little baby and it's about all it can carry. But fetchiness and birdiness are the same drive, but to make sure that what you're seeing on that bird will carry over to something that's a training object, that needs to be seen. So we'll start off here and show you how to get a reaction out of it. You want to trigger the dog's drive to chase by pulling it away from it and throwing it low to the ground. Come on, pup. Come on, puppy. Yeah, good puppy. Come on, pup. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Come on. Okay, this next test we're going to do is to see if we got us a little Braveheart here or not. Generally speaking, anytime that you go to a kennel, the puppies are raised in a place. Dogs are extremely place oriented, and what they'll act in one spot, they don't necessarily act the same in another. What we're looking for here is this little puppy brave of heart. So in other words, when we put it in a new situation, does it scare it, or does it just go right down to doing its business? So you can take each one of them individually and observe what happens. You're either going to get a puppy that just hit the ground running and go to chasing and sniffing, or he's going to cow down in fear. Obviously, we don't want the second reaction, so let's put this little guy down here and see what he does. This little puppy's not afraid. He wants to chew on my leg. Okay, right there, you saw a reaction from those puppies. What it was is when I peeped that whistle, some of them turned around and looked at me or tried to see where that noise was coming from. Generally speaking, I'm looking for that in a puppy because I feel like that those type of puppies are easier to train because they have a genetic predisposition to pay attention to me. And so again, it's just a little observation that you can make to kind of help yourself out in this culling process to figure out which one is the pick of the litter. Okay, this little pup right here has passed all the tests. It hit the bird real hard, showed prey drive. It also would fetch an inanimate object, which was that sock we threw. And what it proved is the puppy's got enough drive that it'll chase birds and retrieving objects. Sometimes that can be different. The next test that it passed is I put it down in a new place and it didn't scare it. So it's showing me that the dog has got bravery, it's got a heart. And finally, I peeped that whistle and solicited his attention, and it paid attention to me. Where did that noise come from? So I can train a dog like that. It's birdy, it's fetchy, new places he's not afraid of new places, and he wants to pay attention to me. Surely to goodness, we can put it into a training program and this little puppy will turn out. The first 6 months of his life is a teaching process, and so that's what it's about to start in on.